We all face decisions that carry weight, whether it's a hiring choice, a customer issue, or the action required to meet a deadline. And in the moment, the pressure doesn't come from having to make a decision, it comes from the fear of making the wrong one. Great leaders don't just rely on instinct, they rely on clear, proven processes that create clarity, focus, and consistency. So today, I want to talk to you about how to make smart decisions under pressure. The first step in making a great decision is to understand what is the problem. What is the problem we are trying to solve? Or what is the opportunity? And in this step here, we're not trying to think, we are trying to understand. In this step, we are trying to define the desired result. So in the last step, we essentially establish what the starting line is. In this step, we are getting to what is the result we're trying to get to. So what is the finish line here? So between the starting line and the finish line will be where all the other steps fall. But we need to be clear on what are the results we are trying to achieve. In this step, we want to gather the right data. And gathering the right data means taking the emotions out of it and searching for the facts. So for example, there was a time the company was looking to implement a new payroll system. And on the front end, in terms of employees who were going to use this system, it looked like it had all the bells and whistles. But the truth of the matter is, on the back end, the administrators who actually had to use this system found it extremely difficult, and actually it added to their production issues. It actually worked against their efficiency. So in these scenarios, it's important to make sure you gather the facts. So in this step, we're going to assess the costs, the benefits, and the risks. It's almost like a cost-benefit analysis. You want to understand, what am I getting into here? And again, we're basing this on the facts. So I take an example of, I'm going out, I'm looking to make a decision on the computer I need to buy. So you need to understand, well, what are the things that are important to you when having a computer? So let's take a look at this visual, for example. So in the visual, we're looking at 3 specific items that I'm considering when buying a computer, whether it's the processor, the memory, or the storage. And you're not going to just look at one computer, you're going to look at different options. So in this scenario here, I looked at 3 different computers as an example. So you want to look at what are the alternatives. In this step, you want to check for alignment with key stakeholders. So a lot of times when people, regardless of whether it's an HR department, an operations department, when they roll out new initiatives, those initiatives often fail. And the reason they often fail is that they didn't get the buy-in that they needed from the beginning. So when you start, as part of your plan, you should indicate what are the key stakeholders? Who are the people who are going to support you in this process? Who are going to be the key people who ensure that the process gets used? Right? So you want to make sure that you involve these people as early in the process as possible. So if it's a departmental decision, you want to think about who are the key people internally who you need to get involved. But if it's a company-wide decision, you may want to get someone from your executive team to sponsor this. They don't necessarily need to be involved every step of the way, but they will definitely want to sponsor this, because having a sponsor at the highest level provides that support you need to get buy-in from the beginning. In this step, you want to build the plan. A decision without action is just an idea. So if you look at the visual, you have to look at who owns each step, what are the timelines, and what does progress look like, whether it be weekly, monthly, or even annually, depending on the length of this project, or a process for that matter. So you want to clearly define those items in this step. Communicate the decision and anticipate resistance. So it's important that every step of the way you are communicating, whether it be touch points, meetings, whatever it takes to make sure that the message is flowing consistently. But once the plan is actually in place, you want to make sure that there's a very clear communication protocol. And you may want to break down that protocol from, messages to your executive team, messages via emails or memos to a larger audience. So it may look something to the effect of your executives, followed by the next tier, which is your directors and senior leaders. The next level would probably be managers and supervisors. And then the next level after that would be your general employee population. But you want to make sure you're communicating as much as possible, but at the same time, you want to anticipate resistance. Prior to even issuing the communication, you want to think about the questions and the concerns that people will have. Anticipate that you will receive criticism, but plan your responses to those criticisms and be proactive in advance. You want to measure results and standardize what works. So here you are, you've made it. You've made it through the steps of the decision-making process, and now you've received and you have achieved your results. But that's not the end of the process. You want to do a post-mortem. You want to look at what are the things that worked and what were the things that did not work. That way, if you have to repeat this process, you can get straight to the result you want without having to make all the mistakes. It's at this point where you got the results that you standardize. You create a best practice template that you can repeat over and over again, but not just repeat for yourself, but multiply. Because now you can take that proven process that works and you can provide it to others, whether it's on your team or in cross-collaborative departments. You can spread the wealth of this knowledge. You will never have all of the information. You will never remove all of the risks. But with a good, proven process, you will remove a lot of the doubt. The best decisions aren't made under pressure. They're made through clarity. Make that decision.